term Levolution has been thrown around the Battlefield community a fair amount ever since the release of Battlefield 4, when it was introduced by DICE and EA as part of their marketing campaign for Battlefield 4. The term comes from the two words level and evolution, and kinda is meant to mean the evolution of the level as a match progresses, so a level could be completely different by the end of a match than what it would be at the start of a match, with buildings falling down and different weather effects affecting the map and so on. But I still feel that after a couple of comments on my last few videos, there's still some kind of misconception as to what Levolution is. And with that, I would like to describe today what I think the perfect Levolution is, because there's some elements of Levolution that I really don't like, but there's also some that I love, and there's also some that I would like to see implemented to make me love it even more. So if you imagine Levolution as kind of this big umbrella, underneath this big umbrella you have a number of things. You have weather effects, time of day, small scale destruction, environmental destruction, and big events. So the weather effects could be like we have on Parasol Storm, we have the thunderstorm that rolls in, the time of day in Dawnbreaker changes from nighttime to daytime. The small scale destruction is stuff like blowing up walls and stuff and bringing down buildings. You also have the environmental destruction where you can like shoot pipes to make fire come out of them and kill your enemies, or block off lanes. And then you've got the big events where towers fall down or a skyscraper falls down and then it creates a new capture point or whatever. Some sort of big event that changes up the map in a big way. The main thing that I don't like about Levolution is the big events. Yes, they look cool the first time that you see them, but after you play the same map 50, 60, 70 times over, it just starts to get old. You've seen it before, you don't need to see it again, and in the end, it just becomes more of a hindrance to gameplay because of all the dust it kicks up, and sure, it's variety, but it also is just irritating, and it is incredibly boring after you've seen it so many times. So in the perfect Levolution, I would love to see weather effects, time of day, possibly time of year, more emphasis on small scale destruction, and still a little bit of environmental destruction rolled in. Now, looking at the weather effects and the time of day, and possibly the time of year, so different seasons, we've seen in Caspian Border, in the Battlefield 3 version, there was the spring and summer map, and yet when it was remade in Battlefield 4, it now looks like it's autumn, with more yellow and orange colours being used in the colour palette. Maybe this could be done for every single map. Maybe for ticking the Battlefield 4 maps, for example, we could get a summer version of Operation Hammerhead, where instead of the lake being frozen over, it's actually just a lake. That then opens up the map for water combat rather than just snowmobiles and hover tanks. For the next Battlefield, I would like to see something done slightly differently with these effects though, so the weather, the time of day and the time of year, this could be randomised per match. So for example, if you played one map back to back, the first time you played it, it could be nighttime, winter, and snowy. But then the next time that you play it, it could be daytime, summer, and overcast. This then just adds up a little bit of variety in terms of gameplay and visual design that would be pretty cool to see. Of course, this isn't just going to solely compensate for having less maps. You are still going to need the multiple maps to add the ultimate sense of variety, but just adding in a sort of little varied sense of weather, time of day and time of year could just add that little bit of extra like cherry on top of the cake, and it's something that I'd definitely love to see in the sort of umbrella that is Levolution. One other thing that I mentioned earlier about small-scale destruction, I really think needs to be emphasised for Battlefield, or whatever the next Battlefield is. We've seen in recent titles that small-scale destruction really can be, is not only possible, but can make a massive difference to gameplay. If we take Rainbow Six Siege, for example, you can destroy those walls in whichever way you want to. You can make your own small little holes in a wall and use that as like a peeking corner. The destruction in Battlefield really hasn't been as good as it has been since Battlefield Bad Company 2, where you could pretty much level the entirety of a map with a grenade launcher and a few rockets. I really think that yes, this should be focused on, and in fact, destroying the map should be a pivotal point of the game. It should be an actual mechanic that you use to your own tactical advantage. And shooting through walls and making your own little holes and that sort of scale of micro destruction really is something that should be focused on in the next Battlefield. This is of course just my own personal opinion, and I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. What do you think should be changed in Levolution? What would you like to keep? And what do you think it should be in the next Battlefield, if it should be there at all? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed, don't forget to absolutely smash that like button and subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next one.